Hi everyone, I'm Zuzka, the Craftsy Penguin, and it's time for another update on my finished objects and my works in progress, because there's been some development. Well, first of all, I have a bit of a segment from last week that I filmed when I thought I will be giving away one item. So I will insert that in here so that past Zuzka can talk to you about that. Hello. So I think this might not make it into the next update. I might be giving this to Belle before I get to film the update. But the Oolong shawl is finished. Look at it! Look at it! It's already blocked. I finished it 2 days ago? Yeah, on the 15th. On the 15th of February. That's gonna be more days ago for you, but it's done! The colors are just amazing. Look at it! It's so pretty. Yeah, that was an interesting adventure, this one. I had it started on the 30th of January and finished on the 15th of February, so it took me like 17 days to do. And in those days I also did that bear head holder for your eyeglasses, so maybe minus 2 days, maybe it was just basically 2 weeks to finish this one, which is pretty quick for me, I'd say. I was really concentrating on making this, not doing anything else basically, aside of just, you know, usual life stuff and keeping tiny humans alive and all of that. But yeah, it was really great. I was really intrigued with the purple string going through all of that. It made for interesting effects. As I mentioned, I really liked the color combination around here, you know, bit of purple, bit of pink, bit of orange. That was really great. And as I was making it, I also had the feeling that the pattern is pretty short and that I will have a great remainder of yarn. So when I was about here in the pattern, I actually consulted with Belle and told her that I might be able to make one more row of this part, the seaweed part of the pattern, and then probably more than 2 rows of the scallops or the shells at the edge. And that bit me in the butt at the end, because these rows were pretty yarn consuming, because there are puff stitches in them, or 3 togethers, and so I tried to make 4 rows, and then I did the calculation and figured out that I wouldn't have enough yarn at the end for that, so I did just the 3 rows here that were prescribed in the pattern, so this part, then all of this and the scallops, and I knew at that point that I will have enough for one more row of scallops. The scallops or the shells are each of the scallops rows is actually made of 2 rows of stitches. So there is a base row and then there is the scallop row and then again base row, scallop row. So you can see it was originally meant to have just 2 rows. It would be ending with this pink purple scallop, but I was able to add one more double row of the scallops at the end, and I think it helped it, that it looks better. And I had just enough yarn for that. It was not exactly yarn chicken. I knew I'll have a tiny small remainder. I did calculations half through every row at the end of every row by this part. So I have 10 grams remaining. It's about 40 meters or something like that. remaining of the yarn, and I already have remainders from other yarn cakes of this kind, so I'm already thinking of something that would use up these remainders. I have a pink one from the Summer Freshness, and I have a petrol one from a blanket that I have, so I'm thinking of something that would be useful for using up these. We'll see about that, but the Oolong shawl is all done, very pretty, if I say so myself, if I can say so myself. I really like it, and the colors are really pretty. So now I have those two rainbow cakes ahead of me and the cake for the top, and I excuse me, I felt like I need to do some smaller project in between, and that's why all those remainders of red heart stripes are out here. I already made one 6-part hat out of the fruity stripe, and I ripped out my parrot stripe granny hat because I didn't like the look of it on me, but I'm making this one for myself. And then I have the glue stripes here, and I want to make another hat out of that, but it's not entirely enough for the hat, so I might be combining it with some of these remainders. We'll see about that. But yeah, I wanted to just jump in, although I'm still a bit stuffed from the cold, and show you that the shawl is all done. Yeah, so now back to the next segment. Bye. And now that we are back from that segment, hello again, and you might have noticed that the Oolong shawl that I described in that part of the video is still sitting there on my table. I didn't meet Belle that week. I'm hoping to meet her this week, and I have it packed like this, really pretty. So the Oolong shawl is ready to be given to her, and I hope she is going to enjoy it and love it and wear it. By chance, she recently got a dress that might match very well in color with this shawl, so that's a great coincidence, and I hope she'll really enjoy that. Anyways, I also talked about the 6-part hats, and I really wanted to use up all of my red heart stripes remainders in those. In the end, I was not really able to. I have about 60 grams remaining of the retro stripes, and I need about 100 grams or over 100 grams for one hat, so I still have that and almost no more red heart stripes. I have one more ball which is not really compatible in colors with the retro stripes anyways, and I have a commission on it actually, so the latte stripes are going to be arm warmers for Tess, for my friend. She ordered some and I haven't yet started those, but that should be a nice project to do. So I have I've searched up a video tutorial for them, and I'm going to follow that, and I will link it in the description of this video, but I will show you in one of the next updates when it's finished, and will definitely link it in there. So that's that. I have just these red heart stripes now, a tiny bit of scraps from those ones that I used up, and those 60 grams of the retro stripes. Now, the results are here. Not all of these hats are those that I made now, but this is a rare opportunity when all of those 6-part hats are in here at home. No kiddo is wearing them for kindergarten today. Actually, yesterday, both of them took their hats to their kindergarten and club. So when I went to pick them up, I also took my new 6-part hat and took a picture of all 3 of us in those hats, and it looked amazing and so colorful, so I love it. But you have already seen these 2. I have made these earlier. It was in November maybe, or December, something like that. So those are kiddos' hats. They're already using them. It's interesting, one of them got a bit looser and the other one is tighter, but I think it depends on washing them and using them. So I know this yarn tends to stretch out a bit. So I made first, in this batch, I first made this one with the fruity stripes, and you have already seen that. It's a bit small-ish, smaller, it's a bit tight, but again, for someone with smaller head maybe, or for a kid, it's quite good. And yeah, I think someone will be very happy with this. I will ask my friends if someone is interested, and we'll see about that. Then the one that I was making when I filmed that last video, that part of the video, was the parrot stripe one, so that one is also finished. And while making this one, I used a bigger hook because I saw that the red one is quite small, and I also had the most yarn for this. I think I have a remainder of about 5 grams or up to 10 grams, a really small yarn ball of this, mostly the green color. And I had to be a bit creative with it because this particular ball of yarn had about 3 knots in it from the original packaging, you know, and it was not color matched at that knot, so it was a challenge. I already encountered one of those knots when I was making the original granny stage hat that I made out of this, and yeah, I think I managed. The colors are great. This is the joining part. There is the seam of the hat, but yeah, and it fits me well. I think it's great, and the colors are amazing. So this one is mine. And there is one more which I again made with the bigger hook, and I tried to have even looser tension with that to make it even a bit bigger. So each one of those hats is different in size basically. So the last one was made with the cool stripes, and it's almost too big for me. It's like comfortably loose, I'd say, and a bit longer, and I think it really looks great. Maybe, I'm not sure if the camera is going to show it, maybe you'll be able to see that the green on here, or the tealish green on here, is not the same as the one in here. And that's because if you remember me saying, I didn't have enough of the cool stripe for the whole hat. So I had to improvise, and it was quite funny because I noticed that in the parrot stripe there was this tealish blue and green as well. You can see in this part. And when I finished this, I had a bit of the remainder that was in that color. So I unwound that bit ending at the green part because the green would be too much for this. So that was about 8 grams extra, and I needed about 17 grams for one part of the 6-part hat. So I needed about 10 grams more, and I noticed that the same lightish blue, tealish blue, and then teal green was in the retro stripes, which I didn't have enough for a whole hat in the end, but I stole about 10 grams out of that to finish this one. So all of my secrets are out basically in saying that this part of the hat is combined from the cool stripes, the parrot stripes, and the retro stripes. There are 2 knots somewhere in there joining the yarns. But I think that color-wise it really worked out well, and you can't basically tell if you don't know. But now all of you know it. So yeah, I'm not great at keeping... I'm great at keeping secrets. I'm not great at keeping creative secrets like this. So there that is. So again, I'm going to offer this one to my friends, and I'll see if someone is interested in such a hat. So that's that. And as I mentioned, I had the yarn cake for the top in front of me. I still have it over there, and the 2 rainbow cakes. And I downloaded the pattern for the Spider Dream top and found out that for my current state of mind it's quite not complex, but there's some adjusting, not really guesswork, but you need to work with the pattern and your measurements and see how many repeats of stuff do you need, if you need to add some chains over there or over there. So for now that was too complicated for me basically. I'll get to it in a bit, but for now I braved it and I started the skirt. I needed to sew together that pink ribbon, not pink ribbon, that pink rubber band that I had for the waistband. So I took out my sewing machine for that. I did a simple double seam on the band. It's not even really visible. Well, I used white thread, which was not clever, but it's gonna be hidden anyways. So I have the waistband and I started the skirt. I've seen some photos for how to start it on this kind of a band, how to crochet directly on it. So I got inspired by that. I also have pattern chosen from Pinterest, which I think I mentioned before. It doesn't have any pictures attached to it other than that. And I found someone wearing a dress that had this pattern for a skirt. So I had a rough idea of how it should look, but it looked like they used pretty big hook and big holes, you know, on their dress, and I don't really want that. So I started with some basic rows of V-stitches, and after doing a few, I started calculating, you know, how big is the skirt going to get, how much rows do I need, all of that. And I really liked the V-stitch pattern, the basic V-stitch pattern on the start. I did about 4 rows of it, and I saw that it's kinda too wide, sort of. It was... I'll try to show you. It was like going out, right from here out, and excuse me. It was directly going wider from the band out. So with 4 rows, it was going like this, and it was warping. So it was visible that the circumference is a bit too big, basically. And I am able to pull this up over my butt, over my legs, to my waist. So I saw that I could afford to make it a bit shorter. But I needed to work with the fact that I have these, focus please, here-ish, hello, that I have these holes in the band to work with. I'd really appreciate focusing. Yeah, thanks. So I used these holes to crochet into. I did the thing that I rolled up the bottom hem of the rubber band like this and crocheted over it. So I was limited by the number of those holes, and I knew basically with the original try how many stitches, how many chains and stitches there were, and it was too big. So I tried to calculate based on also the number of stitches that I will need to join this pattern to the base. It's a whole mathematics seance basically, but yeah, I figured out that I need about, I had 3 stitches per hole basically, and I figured out I need about 2.5 stitches per hole, which is not really doable. So I need 3 stitches in one and 2 stitches in the next one, and that way all the way around. So now I'm doing the V-stitches again. We'll try to get it to focus. Not on my face, please. Not on my face. Yeah, I'm doing a V-stitch, so double crochet, chain stitch, double crochet, and then 2 double crochets in the next one. And then again, double crochet, chain, double crochet, and 2 double crochets in the next one. And like that. And in the next round, I'm going with the 2 double crochets into the one with the chain, and the one with the chain in between those 2 double crochets without the chain. I hope you can understand that. Maybe that's not even usable to any one of you, but I hope it's gonna work like this. And I had about 4 rows of the original V-stitches, and I have all of this ripped out now, so I'm working with that thing and I'm only starting the 2nd row here, so I will work with that. But again, I was able to measure how big the rows are for me, and that I will need about 100 rows in the whole skirt. And this pattern only has about 68 rows. So some people just improvise, you know, different patterns. And for me, doing my first thing of this kind, I don't really like improvising. I like patterns. So I decided, if I won't change my mind again, to do as many rows of this base stitch combination to get to row 32. Yeah, to row 32, just with those plain. It's going to go over my butt, so I don't need fancy stuff on my butt. So I will go with the basic stitches like that, and then I will join the pattern to that and go all the way to my ankles basically with this pattern. So that's the plan for now. I'm not sure if I'm not gonna change something. We'll see. It might be a whole journey of trials and errors. We'll see. I'm trying to take it easy and not get overwhelmed by the thought of this being a great big project. It's not. It's a skirt. It's going to be a beautiful rainbow skirt, and I hope those yarn cakes are going to be enough for such shenanigans. I hope it's gonna work out well. I think in the yarn stash update video I mentioned that these yarn cakes are 1000 meters. Yeah, I think I said that. I was wrong. They're not. They're 1500 meters. So altogether I have 3 kilometers of yarn to make this skirt. So I think that should work. But again, with the skirt going out like that, the lower rows are going to be really long. So I'm hoping, let's see. We'll see how it's gonna work. Yeah, so that's the big thing. And for now, I don't really feel like taking this into my backpack with me when I'm going somewhere. So I needed something small to do. And yesterday I just went to my dental care and I took a bag of cotton yarn with me, and I'm only just starting. It's not even the base row finished, but I'm making another mesh bag. Oh, it matches my shirt today. I really like this color. This one is going to be for me. And I'm still working on the written pattern, and I'm going to make the video really soon. I will also need to make one of these mesh bags as the one that I'm going to film. So this one is too dark for that. I'm considering which color might be the best one for that. We'll see. I'll have to do some tests on my desk with the camera, see how the colors work, and see what's the best visible option. So I'm going to work on that. I also have some other organizational life stuff that's happening. We are dealing with getting the new used car, and also I managed to find someone who's going to take our old car, so I'm doing all of the paperwork and insurance and changing the registration mark, how do they call them? Whew. Well, I think you know what I mean. Anyways, I'm working on all of that. I am also, of course, keeping the tiny humans alive, getting bothered by the cat, and having, general stuff to deal with. So, yeah, I think that's basically everything for today. I am really happy you followed again through my video with me, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking the video, commenting. If you're interested in anything, ask away. Give me your remarks in the comments. Tell me how you're doing. Tell me how your day is going. Tell me how is the weather where you are, because we had some really cold days around here and it warmed up now, and we had a really sunny day yesterday, but now it's overcast and I'm not even sure what the next days are going to bring, so that's also fun. Yeah, but I think we have these small signs of spring maybe, but I think there will be, it's a false spring. There will be winter again, so yeah. Anyways, enough rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy crafting, enjoy creating, and enjoy the colors. Goodbye. Afterthought, I forgot about something. I was just trying this and consulting with Judd, because she ordered this mega cat out of these 2 huge fluffy balls of yarn, and she wants a tortoiseshell cat that's more black than orange, but blended, sort of, or there is a word for it in real life, tortoiseshell cats, but you know, it's not really the same with yarn. It's not replicable in yarn as it is in life, but I have first 3 rows of the cat, which is going to be the nose area, and it's looking like this, and it's really fluffy. And she says it could be even less orange, so, or caramel, so there is going to be more black going onwards, but yeah, this is approved. I was also working on this, so that's also not a travel project due to the size of the yarn. But yeah, I'm also working on the tortoiseshell maga cat. Have a great time. Bye.